Hi guys, welcome to Okong'o channel. My name is Okong'o, of course, and thank you guys for joining me in the armchair conversation section. So I've actually renamed uh, this section to be armchair conversations or convos. I thought that's a good way to call it. Remember, I'm still discovering content, and I'm lucky because now I found some content to be able to be sharing. So this section is just about me, just talking to you guys about uh, things that I've learned, things that I'm learning, and maybe we see how it goes. Just sharing ideas. At the end of the day, it's all about networking. Remember, this channel is about finding a subject matter that we can build a community around, then we can network as we go and see, just learning from each other. Yeah. So today I just want to talk about, maybe let me ask you guys a question. What do you guys think of cycles, life cycles? I'm not talking about life cycles in terms of a butterfly, or some life cycle like if you're a computer engineer, software engineer, software engineering life cycle. No, no, no. Or software development life cycle. I'm talking about specifically cycles in terms of you, you're working on yourself, uh, and you're trying to change from one thing to the next in terms of maybe you've been struggling with something, and then you're working your way towards success away from some, maybe a habit or just something in your life that you want to change. Maybe you're not really good with budgets and you start now working towards uh, always living within your means. And then just when you're about to have some success, you hit a nose dive. But basically, that's, and then you get a nose dive, you try it again, you keep on going up, and then at some point again, something happens and you go down. So basically, those are the cycles I'm talking about. So what do you guys think of those cycles, and how have you guys succeeded in overcoming the cycles? And for those who have not succeeded, what are the challenges that you've been struggling with, and how does it, how have you, what are the strategies that you've used to help you overcome such cycles? Myself, I'm also, I'm also going through the same. I had started, not going to specifics, but I had worked a structure in my life that was working for me. And then I moved from one house to the next. And that led me to, for some reason, the environment change just messed up my structure. And I don't know how that works. Human psychology is just something that is interesting. If something as simple as changing an environment can really remove me out of my game, I'm just curious to know what really triggers that. And I'm sure there are other reasons. So maybe someone is trying to overcome a bad habit, and then something happens. Maybe you lose a loved one, or something just happens. You lose your job, and then you go back to that bad habit or something. It's really hard to. For me, I think one of the things that I intend to do, to at least get back to my trajectory, the right trajectory, for me to have maximum success. I've already contemplated it. I've already even come up with a strategy, and I'm thinking one of the ways I think for me will work is just changing the kind of friends that I hang out with. Uh, so there's always this principle of having inner circle. So those are guys that are untouchables. Those are guys that you know for a fact. Those guys you need them. Mostly are the guys that you grew up with, your family, uh, very close friends. Those ones are untouchable. You never remove them, unless it's that extreme. But you never, they keep them because you need people around you. Then there are the other guys that are on the outer circle. Those are guys that you get to measure them and look at the value that they bring in your life, and then you either bring them on board or you push them away. And sometimes those guys in the outer circle sometimes can really have so much influence on you that you lose your game. A good example is, for example, if you have guys that you, let's say you guys that you meet normally when you visit a certain place. Maybe when you're watching, when you go to watch football, for example, in a social setting. These are guys that you meet every time you go there and you hang out, and it can be, you can really you can easily build a bond around that to a point where you end up compromising on other values in your life for the sake of this outer circle, which for me, I look at them as temporary relationship or convenient relationship, because they don't necessarily need them, but you have them because they meet uh, certain certain things in your certain aspects in your life, such as now you always need company when you're watching football, and maybe people in your inner circle are not available, or or they are part of a network of maybe a potential investment group that you want to join, or a potential company that you want to join, and you know that you probably need their support or help or influence for you to get a deal. Maybe it's a business deal, whether it's a job opportunity, etc. Yeah, so those guys can easily affect your values if you're not careful. So as much as, so I don't know, I don't want to ramble a lot, but basically it's always good for you to ensure that you remain in your best of game. I think it's important that you have the right people around you, internally, with the inner circle and the outer circle. That's what I think. I don't know. I don't know what you guys think about the cycle and the circle around you. Circle and the cycle sounds funny, but yeah. So that's a decision that I'm thinking is one of the things that really, uh, if you want to go far, if you want to sustain the 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 linear growth towards your success in terms of keeping a structure in your life, a positive structure in your life, you will need the right circle, because they influence other people. People influence what happens around you. And I'm looking at it in the sense that even if something bad happens in your life, like maybe a huge loss, if you don't have the right people around you, you're gonna go down. Plus, that's not even enough. I think that, including the fact that you also have to work on yourself. You have to have dealt with some of your weaknesses for you to be able to keep up with your principle and hold your value in high regard. Because if you don't value yourself, your values are BS. They don't matter. Uh, yeah. So someone says that you. There's a quote I read somewhere that says, "People won't do to you what you don't allow them to do to you." Something of the sort. I don't know how to put it in the exact uh, phrase, but it's something of the sort. So everything that happens to you, you've allowed it to happen to you. If someone is abusive to you, you've allowed that person to abuse you, because you've always let them get away with it. And before someone abuses you, they test you, or they try to see how far can they push you. And the more you let them, the more they grab more and more and more and more territory around you, or hold on you. So yeah, basically that's it. I feel like uh, when I started recording, I had a different way of how this conversation is gonna go, and then after I started recording, it went in a different direction, and I can't go back to what I intended this conversation to go to, but it's still okay because I hope I'm bringing value. The topic is what I intended, but how I wanted to deliver it probably deviated because my mind just went somewhere else. Yeah, so sometimes it happens. I'm still learning how to do these videos, so yeah, but I hope this kind of gives value to, not even value, but it kind of opens a conversation around, or even brings value to you, the viewer, because I would also like to know your view on certain things, certain aspects of how you handle cycles in your life, and what you think about the circle, how that your circle affects your cycles. Because life is all about up and down, oscillations. If you're a physicist, not physician, physicist. Yeah. So yeah, but it doesn't. I think I've gotten to a point where I have to end this conversation. But I really looking forward to have a conversation with you then on the next one. And also, what do you guys think about the armchair conversation or the armchair convos that you're just beginning to have? This is the second episode. The first one is the previous one that we had with the same setup. And it's always a nice opportunity to interact with you guys, and looking forward to get to meet you. I don't have viewers right now, and I'm just positive I'm gonna get viewership at some point. And if you will be the first viewer on this on this video, let me know, man. Thank you guys, and looking forward to meeting you guys, to interacting with you guys. See you guys. Probably I'm talking in the past. So if you're watching this in the future, thank you for watching. And remember, stay safe, and always look to improve yourself. As it's you owe it to yourself to work on your weaknesses. You owe it to yourself to be a better person. Something else that I remember that I needed to put in this conversation was how I look at my life is I look at my life like a Formula One race, where we have those stops where they do services. I don't know if they're called pit stops or something. I can't remember. But so I look at my life as I'm in a race, and every single time I have to go to the stops or pit stops, and then for servicing, for self-evaluation, or retrospect of how life has been to me, or what decisions that I've made in life, so that I can improve. So that when I go back, again, join the race again, I constantly improve. I constantly ensure that I'm on the right track. So that's how I view it. I would like to know what's your strategy in life, what drives you, what principles you have, and yeah, generally that's it. Thank you guys for watching. And this, as I said, is Okong'o Guy channel. This section is the armchair convos. Cheers, guys. Have a lovely week.